Petty asks, Kelly, can you do a video on creating a schedule for your sweetie pie when they go to their new home? Thanks for the question, Jill. Let's talk about establishing a schedule for your new puppy. By the end of this video, I will tell you how to establish and maintain a schedule for your young sweetie pie and just how extremely important that is. When your sweetie pie knows what to expect, they're more confident, secure, and able to pick up on what you're trying to train them. By the way, if you're new to Sweetie Pie Pets, thanks so much for watching. And please consider subscribing and liking my videos. And of course, make sure to ring that bell for notifications of future videos. I publish 2 videos per week.
So you have a new puppy, Tabitha, who is super cute, playful, and full of energy, but you want to settle her into your routine at home. You will need to show her the routines, and you think, what exactly does Tabitha need to know and do to make it a smooth transition into your home? So you start by breaking down your sweetie pie's day into 4 areas that you will need to establish consistently and Tabitha will need to learn. These are potty time, play, exercise, bonding time, rest time, meal time. And these routines need to start from day 1. Everyone in the house will need to follow the routines as well. Don't confuse Tabitha with inconsistencies from different family members. So let's begin with potty time, probably the most important routine to establish first, because you want Tabitha to know that this is where she goes potty, she can count on you to be there for her potty needs, and she can communicate to you if she has unexpected potty needs. Also, you are the boss. And as the boss, you need to think about what you want for Tabitha. If you want Tabitha to learn to use potty pads, I recommend the 2-crate method that I talk about in this video. If so, you need to start setting that up before Tabitha even arrives. But I still recommend training Tabitha for outside potty breaks as well. If you want Tabitha to only go potty outside, then she needs to know when she can count on you to be there for her, and also how she can communicate with you when she needs to go in between your established times. I also happen to have a video here about potty training your sweetie pie to go outside.
If you want your sweetie pie to have an indoor potty area, such as the bathroom or the back door, then go ahead and use those as your potty area by setting it up with a potty pad or one of the potty products that I've reviewed, such as the Fresh Patch or the Bark Potty. Both of those are great eco-friendly alternatives to potty pads. And Bark Potty comes with a little bottle of pheromone spray that your sweetie pie can smell, and it will help her learn where to go. In this situation, I prefer to put the potty area right by the back door because that's where they're gonna go when they need to go out. The bottom line is that every family is gonna have different routines and every home has different considerations. If you live in an apartment complex, or maybe you live in a house that doesn't have fences in the backyard, or maybe even there's like predators out there, you need to think about all these things. It's gotta be a safe situation for your sweetie pie, wherever you live. She may be fierce, but she is a small breed that might be prone to outdoor risks. Also keep in mind that the younger the puppy, the smaller their bladder and the shorter their attention spans. Just like with a human baby, this is going to be a long process and it is your job to meet their needs, not the other way around. So just be prepared to spend a lot of time on this, especially in the first couple months.
And to get little Tabitha off on the right foot, the most important schedule will be her bathroom breaks. You need to schedule potty breaks at specific intervals, and then insert the rest of her daily activities around those time slots. Now I realize that everyone has different schedules as we all have plenty of other responsibilities, but I recommend you begin your daytime potty breaks first thing in the morning, and then every 2 hours after that. Of course, as Tabitha starts to get the hang of it, you can begin lengthening the amount of time between potty breaks. But for now, while she's familiarizing herself with her new surroundings, it's best to do potty breaks often to prevent accidents. So first thing in the morning, take your sweetie pie potty. Now when I say first thing in the morning, I do not mean whenever you happen to wake up. If you tend to have an erratic schedule, well, so will your sweetie pie. And that's just not conducive to a well-trained puppy. They need to know when they're going to get their potty break. So sorry to have to say it, but you need to set your alarm and get up at the same time every morning so your sweetie pie will always know what to expect and how long she has to hold it. Dogs don't read clocks, but they do have an internal clock, which is why consistency is key. So set your alarm and take your sweetie pie to the bathroom immediately first thing in the morning. 7 a.m., 9, 11, 1 p.m., 3 o'clock, and so on. And of course, last thing before bed. If you aren't training for potty pads with the 2 crates together method, you'll even need to get up at least once in the night, since little Tabitha most likely won't be able to hold her bladder all night. Likely, you will only need to maintain this super tight potty schedule for the first few days before your sweetie pie starts getting the hang of it. At that point, you can start lengthening the time between potty breaks. But make sure to always maintain first thing in the morning and last thing before bed. Once your sweetie pie starts to understand where they're expected to use the bathroom, they will eventually learn to communicate when they need to go. If your sweetie pie heads over to the back door and starts sniffing around, whining or scratching at the door, they probably need to go out. Be patient with your sweetie pie and just know this is a process. Don't scold her when she makes a potty mistake. Just clean up the mess right away and use a urine destroyer such as Nature's Miracle for any mistakes made on carpet or other materials. With consistency, she will eventually get it.
So now let's talk about the portion of your sweetie pie schedule that you and your family are likely the most excited about: bonding, playtime, and exercise routines. Immediately after they go potty, your sweetie pie will likely be feeling frisky and happy. So this is a great time to get down on the floor with them and have some one-on-one playtime. Toys are a good way to bond with them and help them get exercise. And when they're babies, this playtime is all the exercise they need. They'll likely play rambunctiously for 10 to 30 minutes and then transition to a less stringent activity such as cuddling and grooming. It's really good to hold your sweetie pie and talk to them and interact with them during this time. You can do trust-building exercises with them, such as talking softly to them, petting them, and holding them upside down like a little baby.
Your sweetie pie will need about 4 to 6 hours of daily bonding and playtime. These sessions should be sprinkled throughout the day, always after they've gone potty. Just like a human baby, a puppy only stores so much energy on their small frames, so they need naps often throughout the day.
So now let's talk about their rest schedule. Believe it or not, a young puppy requires 18 to 20 hours of sleep a day, so you must schedule in rest time. Sleep is essential for development of their central nervous system, brain, immune system, and their muscles. So be a good puppy parent and schedule in plenty of rest time. After about an hour of social time, your sweetie pie needs to rest. Of course, just like the potty breaks, rest will be intermittent with 1 to 2 hour cat naps sprinkled throughout the day.
For rest time, your sweetie pie needs their own little space no one will invade. A crate or a larger habitat area, such as my favorite, the Tespo Pet Playpen, which you can get on my Amazon store, works perfectly. Inside their crate, they need a soft bed, a bowl of water, and if you free feed like I do, also a bowl of food. I like to keep their food and water inside their habitat where they're confident everything inside belongs to them. At first, it's likely your sweetie pie may whine when you put them into their crate, and you might worry they don't like it in there. The whining is to be expected while they adjust to their new environment. Remember, they're used to being with their mother and their litter mates. I recommend you let your sweetie pie cry it out and keep consistent with those rest schedules. She'll eventually settle down and go to sleep, especially if everyone leaves the room. Just like a newborn baby. So now let's talk about food schedule. As a baby, Tabitha needs to eat a small amount of food every 2 to 3 hours. If you free feed like I do, her scheduled meal times can be every time she goes into her crate for rest. In her crate, she'll learn to feel safe and secure. So this is a great time and place to nosh on some food. If you prefer scheduled meal times, I still recommend you serve Tabitha inside her habitat area. Just be consistent on the timing so she knows when to expect her next meal. And remember, a tiny puppy cannot go long in between meals. So you'll need those meal times scheduled consistently throughout the day. Keep in mind that the move from their birth home to their forever home is a very stressful time in a puppy's life, so you must pay close attention to their food intake. Be prepared to supplement their hard kibble with something more enticing, such as canned dog food, or even just soaking their hard kibble in chicken broth for at least the first 2 to 4 weeks while they adjust to their new surroundings. Stressful situations usually suppress their appetite, and you do not want your sweetie pie to get low blood sugar. Do whatever it takes to get her to eat.
So let's recap. Potty breaks go first thing in the morning, last thing before bed, once in the middle of the night, and every 2 hours throughout the day. Slowly lengthen the time in between potty breaks, but only as they master the current schedule. Playtime, bonding, and exercise, schedule intermittently throughout the day, 45 minutes to an hour at a time with a maximum of 6 hours a day. As for the rest schedule, again, they need to be often and it needs to total 18 to 20 hours a day. Food schedule needs to be scheduled every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. And your sweetie pie will transition to her new forever home as a loving, devoted, friendly family member for years to come. Jill, I hope I answered your question, and if any of the rest of you guys have questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I love hearing from all of you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I will see you next time on Sweetie Pie Pets. Bye-bye.